Attenzione, iniziando il Joe and Brian Show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about Serie A match week. What was it? Match week 8? Joe, how you doing?
I got Ajita.
Ooh. Yeah, that bad?
It's bad. Inter make me want to vomit. This league is disgusting. The things I've seen happen in Serie A this week, I'm repulsed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call a sore loser. Inter obviously lost to Napoli this week, and guys, don't be like Joe. No one wants Joe around. No one wants a sore loser around, guys.
No, but
it
the
wasn't
context,
that bad of a defeat.
The context is
important
bad. Surrounding it, and I'm gonna get into that. Okay?
Dimmi.
So, as you know, I joined my local Inter club recently, right? And I've been busy. You know, guys, I don't got time anymore to do really anything except this podcast, and I love this shit. I do love this shit, and that's why I make time for it. But, you know, I saw that it was a big game. It was only an hour from me, and I grabbed my girlfriend. I'm like, we're going to go drive down there, and we're going to watch this game. She's like, let's do it. We get there, meet these people, very nice people, very nice community. You know, it was nice to, like, watch this game with people. My first game there, we fucking lose. 3-1. and you know what makes this worse? You know, like, after we left the venue, I'm like, oh, let's go grab a drink or something, you know. I go and get myself a nice old-fashioned, because I'm a gentleman. And, Brian, within one sip...
You were the weirdest drinker.
Yeah, I don't care.
The weirdest drinker. Who just gets old fashions? You're too young to be drinking old fashions.
People with
just
class,
have a beer.
Brian. No,
you have no class. You support Inter.
It was a nice bar. It was a nice bar, nicer clientele. Anyway, I take one sip of this beverage. I spill it all over my pants, all over my nice jeans. I paid like $20 for this beverage, and it just all over me.
That's why you should have gotten the beer.
It wouldn't have been. It would have been more liquid. Now I'm walking around the downtown with my. It looks like I pissed myself. That's how Inter made me feel, anyway. But yeah, that was a nice hour car ride, just drenched. Brutal.
I would have been in a terrible mood. That would have ruined my whole week. Well, I guess it did.
And my team basically lost the league in one day. That's what it felt like. Everything's over.
It's not over. All
right, let's talk about this game. Like, let's just break this down. Listen, Inter put out a decent lineup. Napoli, this was not their desired lineup by any means. They had Neres playing a false 9. Like what? Like the striker situation at Napoli is dire right now between injuries and some other situations.
Well, Luca is available. He's just been banished by Conte
for a little bit. He'll come back, but Conte had to try something different, and that bastard, he was at Inter for so long, and not once did he ever deviate from his master plan. The media asked him one day, and they say, Conte, what happens when you're losing? What's your plan B? And he just looks at the camera and goes, I can't tell you my plan B. Then everybody would know it. This guy doesn't ever have a plan B. Now at Napoli, he's like the maestro. He's so creative. I don't know. Whatever Tottenham did to him reinvigorated him, because I'm pissed. This is not the same man that I enjoyed so much. And the football looks worse. I'm going to be honest. Like, I get it. They beat us. The results. It was nicer football when he was at Inter. So much nicer.
I don't know. The football looked not bad. This game was pretty interesting. I mean, he obviously had to do something different, but also this is a Conte with a point to prove. After that humiliating loss, he's got a point to prove.
He was on 2 losses in a row. This is the biggest game. Lost to Torino, lost to PSV. This was Napoli's biggest game of the year.
Completely. This was the biggest game of the year. And Conte said, bet. He said full send. He had to do what he had to do to get it done. And not only that, he fucking cooked too. Like, I mean, this was... Like, you guys were defeated. This was reminiscent of the Champions League final.
No.
come that second half, you guys
Yes,
looked dead.
yes.
It looked closed.
But in the
First half, there was some fight.
first half, there was so much fight. Napoli got a very questionable penalty. I'm not going to sit here and bitch about it. The situation surrounding it was really peculiar. The linesman was the one who signaled to the referee. He was willing to play on. VAR didn't even step in. It was just a very messy, stupid situation to be in. Whatever. Napoli get a penalty. That's fine. It happens. Obviously,
looked like a pen, because it was a pen.
it doesn't matter. Anyway, obviously it bothered the Inter team, but they still fought back. They hit the post twice at the end of of the first half. It was ridiculous. 2 chances, so there was some desire. Let's say that's 1-1. This is a very different game. Well, either way, Napoli score again. Acerbi's dusted. It is sad to say, but it was bad. He plays on McTominay. A beautiful ball from, I believe, Spinazzola, and then he just volleys it past Sommer. I mean, unstoppable goal. It was frantic defending from Inter. They were just chasing back. It was just a not good situation to be in.
That McTominay goal is actually reminiscent of Maradona. Like he was a little bit out of form, but these last 2 weeks he's back at it and he looks sharp. He looks sharp. I mean, that goal's a Puskas goal, bro. That was a delightful goal. I mean, that was phenomenal.
I would also like to say that De Bruyne did hurt himself taking the penalty.
Old ass. Need to retire.
He always gets hurt
more
against
fatty.
Inter. Even when he was at City, he always was hurt for us. It's an interesting thing. But, he did what he had to do, and he dipped, and then Ampukisa got the late goal, and
that was also a banger goal. That was a phenomenal goal.
It was, but ultimately, Inter fell apart. They were in 1,000 pieces.
Yes.
I mean, Conte and Lautoro started going at it. Look it up, everybody. I mean, I don't exactly know what they were saying, but it was very vulgar and definitely interesting.
I think it was something to the point of like Conte's pissing himself. He's wet in the bed. He's shaky. Lautaro's in his head rent free. That's why he's acting like that. But at the end of the day, Conte did win. And
don't forget, they had that boxing match as well a few seasons ago. So, yeah, they're definitely
ready to duke it out.
Yeah, I mean, even at Inter, they weren't always, great allies of each other. So, very interesting.
So, Napoli versus Inter was not the only game this week. Joe, can you run us through all the games that happened this week?
On Friday, it was Milan versus Pisa, which resulted in a 2-2 draw for both teams. Then on Saturday, it was Parma, Como, 0-0, another thrilling game. Udinese Lecce, 3-2. Napoli Inter, 3-1. Cremonese Atalanta, a 1-1 draw in that game. Then, on the Sunday fixtures, it was Torino-Genoa, 2-1 for Torino. Hellas Verona and Cagliari, 2-2 that game ended. Sassuolo and Roma, with Roma winning. Following Fiorentina, Bologna, 2-2 draw. Lazio, Juve, with a Lazio win.
All right, so now that you're done with your little rant about Inter, because I saw your fantasy team too, that looked rough. But let me talk to you about Milan. Let me holler at you about Milan.
Yeah,
because Milan.
What excuse are you gonna make?
league leaders, and we fumbled. We dropped points against Pisa, newly promoted, and this is a wake up call. Allegri knew we weren't true Scudetto challengers, but we're here, so we gotta make it look like we are. We gotta at least put in the work, not just because we want it this year, but because we're gonna want it in the future. We gotta put in that work now. We need that muscle memory, that instinct. And so we didn't have that today. But I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon. Because this means Allegri is going to take this defeat and turn it into, hopefully turn it into a fucking intense-ass training session with these guys and whip them into fucking shape so that they take their chances the first time and we don't have to go through this. But we're going to learn from this and we're going to come back stronger. That's what I'm excited about here. We deserved all 3 points. We didn't get all 3 points. We only got the 1, but that, these things happen. We'll move on. We'll be better.
Yeah, you guys are going to draw against Atalanta. Calm down. That's your next game, by the way.
Win.
And I don't think Atalanta are even all bad. This is not going to happen.
It's going to happen. It has to happen. We have to. We don't have Europe. We need to make it look like we're a competent team. There's no
Are
reason
you?
for us to not be.
I think
We're
so, but
not.
why are you
We're
drawing to
not.
Pisa? What went
We're
wrong?
not a competent team. What went wrong? We didn't take our chances. We got complacent. That first half, we got the first goal from Leao, a banger. But after that, everyone just assumed it'd be smooth sailing. They just cruise through the match. No, this is Serie A. Like one small mistake, boom, they're back in the game, and that's exactly what happened. They got a bullshit penalty, some handball, some bullshit, whatever. We gotta pay the refs more, I guess. It's not enough. Doubling their salaries, it's crazy. And then they're back in the game. And Zola with some ridiculous shit just scores to make it 2-2. I think it's cooked. Everyone thinks it's cooked. Allegri thinks it's cooked. But by the grace of God, Atekame takes the ugliest shot I've ever seen, and it goes in. God, I was so happy. I couldn't believe it. The ugliest shot I've ever seen in my life goes in. But that's football. So besides the big two teams, well, big three who played today, not today, this week, Milan, Napoli, and Inter, we also had the Lazio Juve game, which saw Juve lose 1-0, but also resulted in Igor Tudor losing his job. First manager of the season to get sacked, and it was Juve. I actually did not see that coming. I mean, it was a bad stretch of games, but truthfully, I didn't see the sacking coming.
Juve have been winless since they beat us. Let that sink in. What the hell? Like, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. He deserved it, and it's not even necessarily his fault, but it wasn't working. And frankly, the new options are allegedly Spalletti or Palladino. I mean, I think Spalletti taking over mid-season would be a disaster. In all honesty,
Yeah,
I can't imagine that going well. He's the kind of guy that I feel like he needs a summer to actually put something together. And literally, this happened last year at Juve. They got rid of Thiago Motta. They brought in Allegri. It's like been the same nonsense again and again with this club. It's brutal. It's brutal.
like I, if you had told me before match week 1, you were like, "Yeah, Juve are gonna sack Igor Tudor," I'd be like, "Yeah, no shit. Who is this guy? He's a nobody. He's proven nothing. He doesn't have any tactical identity." Then you ask me after match week 3, I'm like, "No, this dude's winning the fucking Scudetto." Now match week 8, we're seeing this guy really was just being carried. He was just being carried by the good quality players in the squad. They were fresh, they were eager to start the season strong, and they got the points where they needed to. And sure, he made the substitutions to bring him onto the game, but after that, I mean, I don't see anything. I don't see like a crazy tactical identity from him. I don't see him making a difference now. Before, I guess I was just being blinded by the quality of Yildiz because I mean, I can only I only see so much of a game at once.
Sure, sure.
Beauty just beauty just encapsulates you. It's impossible to focus on anything else other than that golazo screamer that Yildiz just scored. So I guess Tudor was getting carried, but this is. I really did think Juve were going to challenge for Scudetto. Now things are up in the air.
Well, let's look at it this way. They're only 6 points off the top. So, from a numbers standpoint, that's not insurmountable by any means. But getting the right manager could
That's tough.
save the season, and that's the thing. They're by no means are they out of the race for Scudetto in my eyes if they get someone competent. But to expect immediate results is kind of crazy. I don't even know who would you even recommend. If they're saying Spalletti or Mancini, like, do you think those names are capable of reviving this Juve team, or is this a dead season again?
That's the thing. It's like it's hard. I mean, the manager merry-go-round. It's difficult to even find good managers, but then finding a good one already into the season, it's difficult because a lot of managers don't want to start like that. They want a full preseason, like you said. Mancini, maybe, but I don't really have any faith in this man. I mean, working at Juve is difficult, man. I mean, I wouldn't wanna. I wouldn't want to manage Juve. I mean, that sounds miserable. Who wants that job? I don't want that job. You want that job? Nobody wants that job.
I don't want that job, but if I'm like a young guy who's like trying to ruin my career, I would totally take it. So that or someone who's a dinosaur. The options aren't really all that plentiful. I mean, like I said, you either go young with Palladino and it's a dead season, but now you're doing the Thiago Motta thing again. So Juve, what are you doing?
Well, maybe
they didn't even have a sporting director. See, Tudor was the fallback anyway. They didn't even have a sporting director till like August, Brian. Like they had absolutely no idea. They were probably planning to get rid of him, and then they were like, "Well, shit, we got nobody else." Renewed him before the Club World Cup, and then they sent them to die. This is what it felt like, at least. I don't know. I mean, they brought in some players, but the defense at Juve, I still don't rate it. I think they have some really good attacking options. The midfield's not terrible, but their defense is like, especially with Bremer out, it all kind of crumbles a little bit here. And I don't know. Maybe someone a bit more pragmatic. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think that's what Juve might need right now.
it's like I'm just trying to figure out what went wrong. You know what I mean? Because it's like it was going so good. You thought that the only problem Juve had at the beginning was just leaking goals because they were scoring a ton of them.
Sure.
But even in Champions League too. So it's like they were performing in Champions League, and that tends to be a pretty good indicator. If you're performing in Champions League, odds are you're also performing domestically. And so it looked really good. Perhaps Igor is just one-sided, one-dimensional. Once managers figured out he plays like this, he was cooked. And then I guess Juve needs someone who's flexible and more adaptable, perhaps.
Yeah, I just also don't think he was ready for the Juve job. I think he was fine as an interim manager, but I don't know. I thought this was kind of a bad decision from Juve, and clearly it's proving to be. Their next run of games isn't extremely difficult. They have Udinese, Cremonese, Sporting, so, you know, they should be able to kind of get back in winning ways. Typically, you get a new manager bounce. It's not uncommon. But something needs to change for them soon. Otherwise, the season could very easily end poorly. Como's above them currently in the league, and they look a little bit more competent. They're not in two competitions. I wouldn't be surprised if they outperformed Juve, just with the way things are going, depending on what manager they get, you know? There's so much up in the air.
Consistency gets you farther, 100%. You know what I mean? And they have Fabregas, so they're gonna get somewhere good. They're probably gonna get Europe this week. I think both you and I had Cuomo getting some kind of Europe at the very beginning of the season. So
Sure.
we both know that there's quality there and a good manager, and that's consistency will get you farther than just spurts of quality carrying you.
Sure, and I think saying that is a good point to transition to Fiorentina, who should sack their manager, but are too stubborn to do so for whatever reason. Pioli.
How?
Right. When's he out? When's he out? Tell me. Is it time?
I mean, he should have been out like a month ago. I mean, once Fiorentina entered the relegation zone, I mean, something should have been done. And look, let me read you their last results: loss, draw, loss, draw. Next game, Inter. That's gonna be a loss. And
Kivu should beat them, and I think he's gonna have to bounce back personally. Inter's gonna be a little vengeful. Fiorentina are not gonna cope well.
You know what? Fiorentina almost have to act now. They sort of have to. You know what? And perhaps maybe Juve. That's why Juve. Not to go back to Juve, but that's probably why Juve did it. Because they're like, if Fiorentina keep losing games, they're gonna sack a manager. They're gonna sack the manager. Who are they gonna get to replace them? There's the same pool, the same few amount of managers.
Well, here's the
and
problem
probably
for Fiorentina. Like the biggest issue, they sacked Palladino, so they can't bring him back. I mean, they could conceptually. They signed him on a 3-year deal, and then he canceled his contract over the summer. So, yes, he could go to Juve. He's most likely not going back to Fiorentina. And nobody else is really in the hot seat. So, is there anybody internationally now you think about? Like, Fiorentina is not really the kind of club to bring in a foreign manager. Neither is Juve. So, I don't really know what they're going to do.
Fucking Mancini.
At Fiorentina?
What
he
He's been talking with clubs. He's been talking to clubs. To me, it sort of seems like he's kind of wanting to get back into managing.
Yeah,
And so
he's
maybe
expensive though. He's
Fiorentina's not the
expensive.
worst. He is expensive, but there are some gems in this Fiorentina team.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. This is a young-ish squad. Like they have young components. The team isn't like crazily old though. Besides a couple of positions, like Mancini could definitely do something. He is the kind of manager to bring up youth while using experience. And I think this Fiorentina team definitely has that. They have Dzeko, they have De Gea, they have the experience, they have players who have won things before, which is very important, and they have a decent group around them. They are obviously underperforming, but I mean, this is like shockingly terrible. I mean, granted, they drew this game. They were down 2 goals and they came back, but being at home, I mean, it's just embarrassing. And I
Bologna
think,
is
I
a tough
guess,
team.
Bologna is a tough team. And getting beat by your former manager, doesn't help either. But now look at this. I always wondered, was Vincenzo Italiano or Fiorentina limiting each other? Well, I think it seems to see that Fiorentina was limiting Vincenzo Italiano. And if they keep limiting themselves, I mean, I don't think they're going to get relegated, but, they're going to miss out on Europe. And they've been a consistent Conference League team. Let's not forget that. So if they decide to bow out without winning that competition at least once, it's sad. It's sad for them.
So, really quickly, let's wrap it up. But I think, just looking at the next fixtures of Fiorentina, I don't think they're going to get a result against Inter. I think that's a given.
Sure.
I think if Pioli doesn't get a result against Lecce, and it goes terribly for him at Mainz, that's it. No further than that.
No.
You pull the plug right there and then.
I think you plug it after Inter, even though it's inevitable. But if he gets a
Just
draw
because
against
it's
Inter, he could
inevitable.
stay. He could stay.
Look, he got a 3-0 win in the Conference League against some bum team, sure. Then he gets a point against Bologna at home, but still a point against tough opposition.
It's not a bad result overall.
If he gets a point at the San Siro, that's phenomenal. That's great. That's great. The team's moving in the right direction. But
And
if
if he
things
beats
go
Lecce,
bad at Lecce,
yeah.
if things go bad at Lecce, he probably gets the Mainz game to redeem himself. But after that, you can't give him a minute more of football.
I agree. So if the results change, then I guess you kind of have to back him because he's doing good in Europe. But
Yeah,
he's then
doing
again,
good
Fiorentina might
He should be
decide
doing.
to just go all in on the Conference League. It wouldn't totally surprise me.
So let's talk about fantasy.
Oh yeah, great time for fantasy. Brian, how did you do this week?
Cozy. I mean, not bad, not great. So the problem is, Juve suck. Juve suck. So big players like Yildiz didn't get me any points because, well, he got me 3 points. So, but that's not enough points. Then Milan didn't capitalize how they should have, so I didn't really get a ton of points there. Salamakers got me points, Modric got me points, but no clean sheets, so Magnan didn't get me anything. Then in the back line, nothing really happened. But shout out McTominay, because McTominay actually scored. Nico Pass, no goals, but it's okay. It's okay for him not to score every single game. So nothing crazy on this team. I'm hoping for more points next week.
Well, mine went abysmally. 5 points from Boni, 3 from De Ketelaere, 5 from Sule. So my attack underperformed. Now my midfield did well. I got 24 from McTominay, 24 from Salamaker, 27 from Chala, 15 from Nico Paz, which isn't terrible. Sule, he led in 2 goals, so 6.5. Bastoni also led in 3 goals, 7.7. Honor didn't play. Sommer got a 2.3 and Fabregas lost, so it was just bad. It was bad all around. I finished with a total of 128, so not a great week for me.
Yeah, I beat you this week, but not by much. I beat you by 20 points. I had 147.
Well, the podcast derby is still tight, and we have a long fantasy season ahead of us.
All right, then. So that has been another episode of the Joe and Brian Show. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It helps us out. Please let us know what you guys thought. And Joe, take it away.
Well, thank you for watching, everybody. As you know, we do weekly videos here with our UCL ones, so stay tuned for other content coming out from us. And as always, thanks for watching.